Is this new? Is there new information about HARANIR yet? Is HARANIR coming? New stuff? Oh, you're cold. Hey, you better bundle up. You better get warm.
The mysterious race of
I can't relate because I'm in Florida.
Of the War Within. In this video, we're going to talk about all of the customization options which are currently available for this race, which is, as of the recording, this not been confirmed as a playable race. However, you might be convinced by the end of this video. But before we jump into that, guys, I do want to shout out my Twitch, twitch.tv/MrGM. If you want to see me stream World of Warcraft, War Within, patch 11.1, PTR, and more, over on twitch.tv/MrGM. Right, so yes, the HARANIR, the mysterious race.
The video seems zoomed in. I don't think this is the new customizations yet. I don't think... Let me fix the video. If it's zoomed in. Oh, I think it's okay. Oh, wait, no. It's not. Okay. Video's fine. All right.
Of the War Within. I think this is going to be a super fun.
This is going to be my solution for not being able to play a Night Elf Shaman. This is the only thing, like, this is my biggest hopium. This is going to solve all my problems. As you know, I have been desperately trying to be a Night Elf Shaman, and they're not going to let me do it.
Video to come back to in
so
like
this is what they're going to give me
running
instead.
Around on our HARANIR druids and whatnot.
I don't want
this
druid.
Race was data mined back in the alpha of the War Within. It features a ton of customizations and is based off of the Night Elf animations. So, you know, when you see it dancing and stuff, it uses the Night Elf animations, but it has had a ton of changes to make it a very unique race in its own
They're
right.
bat people.
Now,
that's why I like HARANIR, because I'm also a bat person.
This
I hate
situation is very similar to the Vulpera. The Vulpera were very much a race which was just listed as an NPC. If you do
oh my god!
Animations, but
sorry.
The get-go because
Crap.
it is Vulpera and Night Elf
oh my god.
actually got playable Vulpera. And
I clicked the wrong button. I screwed it up.
I feel like this is going to be the exact same situation as there are so many customization options for this
Oh, I think that does look new.
Race. And on top of that, because it uses the rigging of the Night Elves, gear is supported on this race from the get-go because it is using the exact same geosets as what we have on
But they don't have this weird... Okay, so the male Night Elf torso has a very weird waist that comes in really far and unnaturally. And this model seems to solve that problem.
From
so it looks better
because it is using the exact same
He's more like
as
normal body shape
for the female models. So this race is essentially ready to go. All you need is some story, some voice acting, and that's about it, really. Now, the HARANIR are going to be part of patch 11.07. Now, we don't know how much they're going to be involved in this patch, but they are in the splash screen, and also they've been hinted to be involved in patch 11.1 as well. So we're definitely going to learn a ton about the HARANIR, and I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they just shadow drop them in 11.07 to be playable, but we'll have to see about that.
They
wouldn't
do that.
This video is about the customization options of this race for the male and female model, so let's jump in and have a look at the male model. So the male and female model for the HARANIR honestly have some of the most customization.
You asked me if I'm joining OnlyFans. I'm in OnlyFans, so I will be... I don't know if I'm going to be able to join them today for the stuff because I have to prepare stuff still for my mom's memorial service this weekend, but hopefully next week I'll be able to be leveling and things with OnlyFans.
I've ever seen on a World of Warcraft race, and honestly some of the options I've never seen also, which we'll get into in a bit. But yeah, let's start with this model right here, which is of course the male model, and with the hairstyle. So you have none, you have this kind of side
ears.
pony, which is kind of cool looking.
Looks good.
You have this kind of like long, thick version here with the quills hanging out of it, which is awesome. Now the quills are something that we will see a couple of times on this race as well, but
he looks so fine. Look at that. Fantastic.
Details and the attention to detail on this race is absolutely incredible.
Very good.
And you also have this mohawk as well for the HARANIR. They do have customizable eyebrows, so you have this version, you have the pointy version, you have even taller eyebrows, and then you have this one as well. So a couple of options for eyebrows there for the HARANIR, which are 3D. As you can see, they kind of poke out the sides there. They even have teeth options, so they have this one as default. They have this one,
Those are
this
tusks.
one, which is none, and then you have this one. So various different versions of tiny little tusks,
biggest one,
which are customizable, which is insane. For the hair color, there's 2 options. So you have this kind of like maroon version, and then you have this kind of light,
both good,
sort of bluey.
We need more colors than this, though. This isn't enough.
Gray
2 hair
hairstyle,
colors,
which is awesome. You have face fur.
This is not okay. I'm being demanding about a race that hasn't even been announced.
Options. So yeah, various versions for this. So you have this one here, which is kind of like on the cheeks.
Just give me the damn color wheel.
Kind of, different color version of that one.
Furry.
You have a more like, you know, over the
furry
entire face version.
Good.
Different
now put fur all over his entire face.
Color of that as well. So 4 different options for face fur, which can kind of mix and match with the hair color.
More fur.
Which is awesome looking. They also have hair highlight colors listed. Yes, there is a option for hair highlights. So as we go through the different hairstyles here, you can see very much like the Drakthir before them, they have hair highlights. So you have a kind of black highlight, and then you have a sort of like lighter.
2 highlights. I can barely even see them. What is this? It's not like the Drakthir that has 1,000 different highlight colors that all look really good.
Highlight there, which does work with all of the different hairstyles for the HARANIR, which looks absolutely fantastic. And as mentioned, you can mix and match that with the current thing. So look how cool that looks.
That looks
what
good.
An awesome combination.
He looks like a strawberry swirl.
As mentioned, it just upsets me that these are not playable, so they've got to be playable at some point, surely. So for ear options, there's a couple of options. So you have this one here as a default. You have a kind of like downward ear here. You have a big pointy ear as well, and then a massive pointy ear.
Massive.
So yeah, various different options for the ears for the HARANIR there, as you can see.
This was not announced as a playable race. I don't like. However, in the files, it sure looks like they have a bunch of customization options set up just like how Volpera did before Volpera came out. So that's why there's a lot of hype and people thinking, well, maybe it's going to be...
for eyesight,
why else would they
like
have this kinds of options?
You can go, just having regular eyesight, be blind in one eye or the left eye, or neither as well, which actually looks pretty badass. They also have eye refraction as an option. So you have this one, you have this one,
glowy.
this one, and this one, which is kind of like the eye glow, I guess, in a sense, which actually is really cool. I don't know if any other race have ever had that before, but nonetheless, it's very, very awesome.
Well, they need it for seeing in the dark.
Customizations for the male HARANIR.
So again, look how much better this body shape looks than the male night elf. Like, not because it's just because the male night elf looks unnatural. It just doesn't look like a natural proportion on the body because of how much it goes in. It looks like his organs are getting squished. I'll have to find a picture of you so you can see a picture so you can see what I'm talking about.
Here, so we have shoulder quills.
It would be nice to have different body choices.
Tons of different options here. So you have this one, which has both there. Then you just have one side, and then you have kind of a sporadic quills, and then you have just one side, and once again you have one.
The head looks small compared to the chest. That's pretty normal for video game character models because it will look more normal whenever there is armor on the character. But that's actually pretty common. If you look at FXV character models, a lot of times if you see it in the model viewer, the head is a little smaller than you would expect it to be, but it's normal when there's
so various different options there. Now, these don't seem to come through gear, but again, it's an NPC race. That's going to be something they can do once, obviously, they become playable. They can see kind of how that works.
How will your
with various different gear
spines
sets.
poke through
so
your
for HARANIR, they actually have 3 different
shoulders.
Skin colors. So they have this one, which is a light color. They have this super dark version, which has actually been added in patch 1107.
That is new. They are adding new stuff to the HARANIR that I didn't know about. That means they are working on this.
Which was interesting. So I'm not too sure why they're doing that.
Oh, it looks very good. It's like purpley.
And then the final option is this one here. So
there's
3
now
different
3
skin colors available
skin
for
colors.
the HARANIR. So yeah,
instead of
really
2.
not that many, but other allied races also have probably the same amount. So there's that. They also have a body fur option. So
other allied races have less.
Have just kind of like all
the same
in
or
that
more.
first color.
I don't know what to talk about.
We've seen and
shut up.
all over in that second color, and once again, kind of a different design in that first color, and then a different design in that second color. You can also customize the color of the quills as well, so you can have the 2 different colors that we've seen throughout the HARANIR. That also does change the hair quill color as well, which is awesome. So that is a kind of like over-bodied
Man, I want quills
for the quill color. For the head, you also have 2 different options, which just changes the kind of nose shape there, which is interesting. And for the feet, yes, there are feet customizations for the HARANIR. So you can have regular feet, or you can have kind of these monstrous sort of feet. So yeah, 2 different feet options. Now, I don't think we've ever seen a feet option in a playable race before, but you know, prove me wrong. That's pretty cool looking.
Give me the weird monster
feet. Model. So let's take a look at the female model. So let's start off with hairstyles. So for the hairstyles, we have none. We have this one, which is kind of weird looking.
That's like not finished.
Have this one, which is like a nice side parting.
It's okay.
We have this one with the quills, which is very similar to the male model. We have this awesome one.
Oh, that's new. And
like a little,
oh my God, no.
Point at the back there.
No.
Which is awesome.
It looks like a cowlick. You ever heard it? You know, like, oh.
And yeah, features those quills once again, and you know, much like the male model, those will be customizable.
Cowlick in the back.
So they also have different ear options, very similar to the male.
Oh no, change it up. That you can't leave it on that one for the rest of the video.
So pretty much the same options here.
He's going to leave it on that one for the rest of the video. Bro, come on.
As the male, just obviously just on the female model, having those big, giant, spiky ears at the side there. For face, there are 2 options, so just a variation on the nose shape, as you can see there.
Both
for
fine.
eyebrows, just like the male model, there are different variants.
Says we all know how much Zepla loves brown characters' feet after her recent tweet about how much she likes Salazar's feet more than Arenville's feet.
Zeiss, I was coerced to write that tweet. You know this, Zeiss. You know I would have never said something like that unless I was coerced. And I don't mean that because Arenville has the best feet than anyone.
Of these, which are 3D, which just point further and further out, and of course are 3D, as I showed before. They also do have the eye refraction option that we did see on.
I can't believe he's got this
model.
Hairstyle on his character.
So for teeth, once again, you can customize the kind of.
Are you even thinking about making a cute character while making this video? Or are you just showcasing the option? Just showcasing options.
Of like tusks here. For very little tusks, you can have big tusks, you can have medium tusks, small tusks, and none if you do want to go that way. For shoulder quills, much like the male, you do have the kind of bushy shoulder quills with one side each, or you can have the kind of,
I don't,
you know,
no.
Sparing shoulder quills.
You need lots of quills.
Or you can have none if you do prefer that. Body fur as well, much like the male, has very similar options.
Yeah, fur.
You can kind of have like a full covering, you can have
give me all that
covering,
fur.
or you can have none in those 2 colors, which we did see previously. Face fur
Furless,
is an option for the females,
shaved.
but a little different to the male. So you do have the full cheek coverage in the 2 colors, but you do also have this one, which is more of like a sideburn.
Oh, it's a sideburn. I don't like it.
Subtle face fur in the 2 colors as well. So you don't have the full covering that the male has. There's also another face option, which is listed as just this. So I guess more contours in the cheeks there for the HARANIR. And for hair colors, they do have these
almost the same
2 options that we saw in the male. So we have the kind
How can you call it 2 face options? Like I gotta squint and tilt my head to the side to see. It looks the same.
And then the kind of silvery gray. For skin color, they actually have 2 options on the female, which is interesting.
That doesn't match the...
So you have kind of the gray-blue version that we saw on the male, and of course this kind of like purpley night elf version.
What about the dark one?
The new one, as mentioned, the kind of dark one, has only been listed as the male one. I would imagine in future 1107 builds, they're probably going to add one for the female, but yeah, a bit strange there. And much like the male as well, we do have hair highlights, so we can do the hair highlight in 2 different colors as well, which is awesome with the different hairstyles that we've seen. So that looks very, very, very cool. I do
my God, it's saved! He finally changed it.
I wish more races had hair highlights. I think that's such a cool thing. Also, we have quill color, so of course, if you put the quills back on,
I thank the
we
Lord.
can choose the 2 options for the quill color. And much like the male, they do have the option to customize your feet.
Yeah, even the weird
you can have
feet.
those kind of demon feet,
Yeah.
or you can have the regular feet as well.
Leave it on
and
demon
finally,
feet.
with the female, for some reason, listed on a totally different thing, is eyes.
Oh, she's got underboob. Good. There's a lot of underboob. Does this top normally have underboob, or is this a HARANIR only feature?
So you can have blind,
oh my
left
God.
or right, or whatever you like there. So
that's a...
yeah, pretty much similar options for the female as well as the male, but yeah, nonetheless, a very cool selection of customizations for both of these models. And that's it. That is all of the customization options available on the HARANIR race. So this was just taken from like a model viewer, so obviously in game, maybe it'll look a little bit different, but yeah, certainly a very cool looking race with a ton of different options. I love the fact
yes, this looks great
that they have feet customizations. That's so interesting.
That's the thing you love the most of everything you've seen. That's the thing you love the feet customizations. Okay, I mean, the War Within is, it's awakened a lot of feelings in many of us.
They do wear boots, so if you do want to show off those feet customizations, I guess you'd have to hide boots. But yeah, certainly a very, very cool race. Let me know down below, guys, what you think of the HARANIR. Would you like to see them playable? Who do you think they should be for, the Alliance or Horde, or both? I would imagine they're going to be both if they do become playable. But do let me know down below in the comments section. But guys, thank you very much for watching. If you did like this video, leave a like on it and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already.
That was
a
nice video.
Outside of YouTube, I'm also on Patreon, and I'm on Twitter at MrGMYT, and I have a partner Discord channel as well. And as mentioned, I am streaming on Twitch.
I'll give you the link.
/MrGM. If you want to see me stream World of Warcraft, patch 1107, 11.1,
that's
all
of
that good stuff, guys. I'm over on twitch.tv/MrGM.
Okay.
And with that, guys, I'll see you next time.
Cool. Well, I am unfathomably hyped for this race, and I need it to have shamans. If HARANIR doesn't have shamans, I am going to actually go ballistic. But I'm sure it will. I mean, if it has druids and they're into nature and stuff, and, thorns, and they're quillboars, basically, right? And quillboars are famously shamans, so of course they are underground, okay? And that's why dwarves are shamans, because they like to go underground too, like HARANIR. So they're not gonna screw me on this. They're not gonna screw me on this. Like, I really don't know what I will do if they don't have shamans. Watch out. Okay. Now we're actually assuming they release this race at all. Because there's no guarantee they're even going to add HARANIR. And we're all getting on the hype train for something that doesn't yet exist. But that doesn't matter, because I did the same thing with Vulpera. I was on the Vulpera hype caravan for months, and that paid off. And because of that working out before, I'm back on the hype. I guess they don't really have bat for HARANIR. Yeah, they don't have caravans. When do you think will be playable? I think 11.2, maybe. I don't think it'll be stealth update in 1107. I think it's going to be 11.1 is going to give us like the HARANIR lore, and then after that we'll get the race. So like you'll have to learn about their society, and it might be like going through Suramar like we did with the Nightborn, and I don't know though. I have no idea. I will never trust allied race videos after learning the Sethrak had a Heart of Azeroth animation. What? What? They did? Sethrak had a Heart of Azeroth animation? That they would have only had it if they were supposed to be for the player. But they were never for the player. Oh my god. Oh my god. No! This is way more than just Heart of Azeroth animation, okay? This isn't comparable at all. HARANIR have a ton of extra stuff. Well, I really hope we get them as a new race. They'll rework their animations and skeleton. I really don't want another Night Elf reskin. Too damn bad. I do, and I'm very glad. In fact, give me 100 different Night Elf reskins. In fact, stop adding allied races that aren't Night Elf reskins. Thank you. Except, okay, well, not Nightborn. Not like Nightborn. Don't let it be like Nightborn. What if it's like Nightborn? It's not going to be like Nightborn. It's not going to be like Nightborn. No, 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 no. Nightborn was a one-time accident, and I'm sure they've learned from the mistakes that were made at that time. So, are you only doing hardcore? I honestly haven't thought about it at all. Right now, I have plans to do a little of the hardcore leveling with OnlyFangs, but I'm still in retail. Like, this is my comfort game right now. This is my comfort character. And, in OnlyFangs, I was assigned to play a troll, not a Tauren. This is my guy. Like, this is my dude. It's very comforting. Zeb, I loved your Dragonflight video. I'm so happy to hear that, Demi. Thank you for watching it. What's wrong with Nightborn? So, I like Nightborn, but I don't love Nightborn, and here's why. The NPC versions of the Nightborn look different and a little bit more elegant than the player versions that we got. I have a problem with the animations for some of the Nightborn, like especially the running animation, because it feels extremely stiff in comparison to normal Night Elf running animation. It almost feels like they're floating and there's not an impact on the ground whenever she takes a step in the same way as other races that are like have a more comfortable running animation. I don't like the running animation. They did add recently the squinted eyes for Nightborn, which I felt was a huge improvement. So that shows that they were listening to some of the feedback that people had. The squinted eyes helped a lot to make them look more like the NPC versions, but there's still something missing. I still can't get my Nightborn to look quite the same as the NPC version. I don't know what it is. Do we not have enough faces? Is it the body shape? Is it the animation? It's some kind of weird combination of all these things. So I like them, but I'm not obsessed in the way that I had felt whenever I was going through Suramar. Yep. He looks like he gives great hugs. Yes, I know. Maybe that's why he's very comforting to me. Cause
bunny ears. Zepla Q Bunnerkey too.
Yes, absolutely. I think that's it. Maybe that's why I like the Tauren, because he has horns and it's a little bit like bunny ears. He's a woodland creature, which is a little bit like being a Viera. What if I told you that the Viera of World of Warcraft are not night elves, but are actually high mountain Tauren? That's not true. That's not true. It's actually night elves, because the night elves are the matriarchal society, like Viera. They're the forest defenders, like Viera. So NPC Nightborn look condescending. Yes, you got it. You know exactly what I'm saying. PC Nightborn look innocent and bewildered. That's what I'm saying.